Hi guys, so I decided that I would make today another reading from my journal entry video. I think this is the fourth one. Um, I actually am doing something a little bit different, which is that I'm going to read from a journal entry that I have and also talk about it a little bit at the end, just because I have a tiny bit to say about it. I mean, more to say about it, but I'm not going to say a whole lot. There's one thing I will say before I start is I was 15 when I wrote this, so cut me some slack. It's not like terrible or anything. It's just a little bit cheesy. It's like too cheesy. Um, but I do like the message of it. So, and I just do think that it's a good message that I think is good for anyone to hear. So here we go. I wrote this on March 7th, 2015. I was 15. I have the window open right now. The light breeze gives me hope of spring. I see the snow melting away as opposed to filing up a few feet. The birds are chirping. It's beautiful right now. It's like in the movies, except for the grass still being a little muddy as a result of the melting snow. But instead of looking at it as the snow is still here, I'm looking at it as the snow is melting away. Glass half full. You see, it was getting depressing in here. My bedroom, that is. So I walked out of it, only to remember it's depressing in there too. So I went back to my room, but I didn't do what I normally do. I didn't mope and cry and be depressed. I mean, I did. I wrote a few songs. But I didn't stay like that. I did something about it. I needed a solution. I opened the window. It sounds silly, but never underestimate the power of the weather. It was all dark in my room, even with the light on. It was really making me feel down. So I looked for a source of light, and suddenly I was conscious of the sun that has been shining all day. And so I opened the window, and I breathed in the light breeze. I soaked in the warm sun. I perked up my ears to listen to the birds sing. I recognized the snow melting away, and it was all so beautiful, enlightening, relaxing, uplifting. But it's not until now that I realized what I did. I danced in the rain. I found a way to enjoy the day instead of lamenting on everything that's gone wrong. I found the light in the midst of the vast darkness, and it's shining brighter than ever before. So yeah, it's a bit cheesy. You guys clearly don't know my story, but the reason why this journal entry for me is so interesting to look back on is I know what I was going through during those times. And the fact that I don't mean this in a sort of talking myself up kind of way, but I do think that it's quite remarkable that I was that positive in that terrible time. Now don't get me wrong, that's one positive journal entry amidst millions of not positive ones. Some of which I don't have anymore. But the thing is, I really do truly believe that it's possible to find meaning in every situation. And I think it's important for people, especially people who go through trauma and terrible things in life, to really remember that. Maybe you're sitting at home all day, every day, at night, and maybe it's worse at night, and maybe you think too much, and you think yourself into a meaningless void. I just want people to remember that no matter how much they fester, no matter how much they focus on the terrible things, no matter how many terrible things they have, I do think that it's possible to find meaning. And I think meaning is what makes the pain worthwhile. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying every situation is the same. I'm not saying every situation is equally easy or equally difficult. It's not. Maybe one time there will come a time where you guys can know my story. I mean, I plan before I die to write an autobiography. So, that'll be a long time, but I will say that as cheesy as it was, like, it is quite remarkable. It just almost seems impossible if you guys knew what it was that I could have been positive. And the thing is, I never really viewed myself as a positive person. I actually always viewed myself as a very negative person. But I realized I'm actually not a negative person. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm very emotional. I'm very, like, I personally, it's something I'm not ashamed of. Like, I let myself feel deeply. However, I am actually in some way, like, I'm realistic. But I'm actually more of a glass half full kind of person. Not to say that I'm naive, but to say that I see reality and I see the good of reality. And I've always been someone who tries to find the meaning in the vast darkness. I think there's a lot of metaphors in that journal entry that were honestly things that I did do. I did turn the light on. I did notice the sun that was shining all day. But if I remember right, I remember when I was writing it, I consciously was like making a metaphor about how, like, the good has always been there. I'm only just now recognizing it. I'm only just now conscious of the bright sun, but it's been there all day. Or all I had to do was turn the light on. And I know that's a bit cheesy, but and I was 15 to just cut me some slack, but I think that's exactly right. And I'm not sure if I would have made it through those times if I didn't have that mindset. And I just wanted to really focus on that and talk to you guys about that because I do believe it is possible to find meaning, always. And I think it requires an eye for the bigger picture and a commitment to truth and honesty with yourself. So yeah, just really, it's just like, I know times have been hard lately for some people, and times are hard for a lot of people for who knows what reasons, and I just wanted to really share that part of me that isn't necessarily easy to share because it's a bit cheesy and you guys don't even know what it was about really. But the point is, I don't think you have to know a person's specific situation to find value in the lessons that they talk about from it. Because I know that I do that all the time with people who have no idea what they're going through. So yeah, just find the thing that makes the pain worthwhile and do that.